bottom line is severe weather season is right upon us these next couple days. So the point is to give you enough information. I hope my intent drives your anxiety down by telling you when not to be concerned, when to be concerned a little bit, and hopefully give you plenty of notice for those times that we do need to be concerned. We try and pinpoint those. So that's the point. Hope you're getting that this morning. So here's what we have. The bottom line is Sunday today and Monday tomorrow. Tonight is a conditional threat for most of our area, East Central Kansas and West Central Missouri. We do need to pay attention, and I'm going to show you exactly when. But I do wonder if we wouldn't wind up with something like we had last night. If you hopped on my late night pajama live stream, when we had some robust cells come through, and just one of them was enough to trigger a severe thunderstorm warning due to strong hail, mainly. Wonder if we wouldn't get that possibly with some wind tonight. But we got to pay attention because all the ingredients are there. It could be more than that because they should be clustered discrete cells. We do have a tornado risk with them. So we do need to pay attention then in the late evening tonight. So we'll go over all that. But Monday is the day, and I'm seeing two particular waves, afternoon and later in the evening, where the ingredients do come together across a much, much broader area. And it has a lot more potential. So we absolutely want to take the time today to think about Monday, be prepared for a couple of waves on Monday. So let's go ahead and go through that. Here, just kind of big picture overall is the setup for today, severe weather setup for today. We've been talking about that with an enhanced 3 out of 5 risk area across central Kansas, just touching east central Kansas. But look at what shifts for tomorrow, Monday, May 19th. Look at what a massive swath of the Midwest is in that same enhanced area. So we are absolutely not the only ones. So let's pop outside and take a look at where we are right now, so we can figure out where we're going. Right. So here is satellite view at the moment. No, it's not. Hold on, just one second. Enjoy that view while we find satellite view. Here we go. This is radar view outside this morning. This is where I want to start off. It is 61 degrees in Harrisonville. It is 61 over in Clinton, 61 down in Fort Scott. Dew points are right up there, close to temperature. So indicative of what the situation is overall. So if I back out and jump back to satellite view that I was mentioning a second ago, this is what we have. So we have thinning cloud cover today, and that's the first ingredient that I want to mention. It should stay that way. It's going to allow afternoon heating to drive up, and that's going to spark our instability for the afternoon and the evening hours. Of note, want to mention this warm boundary. It doesn't look like one right now. It looks stationary, but it's going to turn into a warm boundary, and it's going to park right across central Kansas. I'll show you that in just a second, and that's where storms are going to spark this afternoon. So let me go ahead and show you what happens when that gets going. Here, for example, is the surface chart. So there again, the little red bubbles, that's our warm boundary just draped right across Kansas. That's where I'm looking for storm initiation to happen today. So because of that, here's our severe weather outlook for today. Sunday, just zoomed in a little bit more. This is going to pick up just east of Emporia, dropping off, looks like to me. And so all of the rest of us drop down into the slight risk area, the 2 out of 5. Again, this isn't anything that we haven't known for the last few days, but specifically, where do they put the tornado outlook for today? It is here. Couldn't be more central Kansas as these cells initiate along that warm front, expecting them to be clustered discrete cells, possibly supercellular. And so with this being the focal area for instability today, there's your tornado outlook for today. Severe wind outlook, though, as things do work east, that is going to be what we're paying attention to later this evening to see how long those cells stay together. So it's very likely we could still have strong winds, even if we don't have the tornado threat. And that would be an awesome thing. We'll take it, right? So severe hail outlook, just almost the same as the tornado, just shifting a little bit more east. That is, again, today's weather outlook. Shifting over to Monday, just zoomed in a little bit more toward our area. So this is where we're going to start picking up a much broader risk area. Here we are looking at the Missouri side. Again, that 3 out of 5 being the orange is pretty much all of us, all the counties that I'm talking to this morning, right? Here's the tornado outlook. Don't like talking about these things unless we have to, but this is where we start to talk about storm mode. And what we're expecting with both waves, and I'm going to show you, the later wave is definitely the area of concern. So with that one especially, we have all modes, honestly, between the two waves. In the afternoon, I think we see some strong discrete cells, and that gives us the greatest risk for tornadoes. And then toward the evening, I think we have a more linear mode, and that's going to give us damaging winds, straight line winds, and potential for large hail. but there could be embedded could be embedded tornadoes in that as well. So really, that's why we kept saying for the last few days, all modes are possible. Severe wind outlook again, no surprise there. So let's look over to model data and put some timing on this to see what happens when. Here we are right now. Let's take a look at where we're going. Throughout the day today, this is about 10 o'clock this morning. I just see light scattered showers, Joplin, Springfield. Those are going to take the I-44 corridor down there today. Not expecting those to be severe. And then as we get here we go. Let me pop up right there for just a second. This is about 2 p.m. this afternoon. I do see just a loose congealing cluster storms moving through from about Butler down over towards Mountain Grove. And so again, that looks to be about, possibly the 2 p.m. hour this afternoon. As we keep rolling, there's another pop. So that's what we're looking for here as late as 7 o'clock. But this is going to be the hour to watch tonight. So let me back up just a little bit. There is 7 p.m. And so we're going to look all out to central Kansas, just like we've been talking. This is one measure of instability here is Cape values at 7 p.m. So all of central Kansas and a little bit further down here to the south. These are really strong Cape numbers, right? 4,000 joules, 4,600 joules. So we're going to watch for storms developing there, although data this morning suggests they're heading up a little bit more toward I-70, right? So this is 7 p.m. So as we start to work toward the evening, this is what I'm talking about for east central Kansas, west central Missouri that I'm paying attention to. So I'm expecting, we'll just use Cape just because it's one example, but it's a pretty good example. So our purple is the heavier Cape that I am worried about. And then lighter colors transitioning over here towards state line, they're dropping off a lot. Now they're not zero. So this is going to be the time that we just have to watch and see. We have to know what is possible. But I do think we do pick up these cells as they come east, looking toward now 11 p.m. and there's midnight. So again, it's just going to be a watch and see game. I'm not as concerned, not near as concerned about Monday, but like I say, it could be like last night where some of those are strong enough to trigger a severe thunderstorm warning over tonight. So let's keep rolling here and let me pop over to Monday. So this is Monday afternoon. This is 3 p.m. Here's our first batch showing up. And I'm going to, again, looking over on the Kansas side, Iola, Garnett, Chanute, possibly Pleasanton, and picking up Butler. And so this is starting things off for tomorrow. It could be a long day tomorrow, guys. Just get ready for that today. And this wave moves through in, here's 3 p.m. and there's 4 p.m. So that's our first wave. That is not the major concern, though, and you're going to see it in just a second as I go out here a little bit more regionally. Moving towards now 6 p.m. and there's 7 p.m. So here is our linear, or it could be quasi-linear system. I mean, model data is even suggesting a bow structure already. So this is a significant threat for us tomorrow night. So I'm looking at now there's 7 p.m., 8 p.m., 9, 10. And this is where we are going to be concerned as this linear structure moves through for strong, strong damaging winds and large hail. Can't rule out the tornado threat, but it does drop a little bit lower with a system like this moving through. So that is what I think is ahead in the near term. Let's talk about the other question everybody wants to know is rain totals. It's been kind of all over the page, which is what I expect with an active pattern like this, right? Because a couple of these are dependent on how many people wind up under thunderstorms, right? But overall, I'm looking for 2.3, 2.2 inches over on the Kansas side, 2.6 right up and down state line, picking up 3 inches probably over in northeastern Bates County, going over towards Henry County. Of course, these could change, to my gut instinct with these storms, it still seems a tad low. But I think 3 inches is a fair assumption moving forward. So that is the data that I have for you this morning. Like I say, I hope it helps you be prepared. There are some times that we do need to be concerned. And depending on, when you go to bed, think about those things today. Make sure that you can be awakened for storm alerts. I will keep an eye on things and I will catch you back later.